I thought this thermal camera was showing me the problem. Turns out it wasn't. This is the same circuit board, the same hotspot, and almost the same sensor technology. The difference is in this tiny focus ring. I've been using the older P2 for like 2 years, and I thought I knew exactly what it could do. Then I started testing the P3, and it completely changed what I thought was limiting thermal cameras. The first place I noticed the difference was during one of my normal PC reviews. I was filming the RTX 5080 under full load, exactly the sort of thing I use thermal cameras for all the time. The P2 was already producing perfectly usable images, but every so often I wished I could pull just a little more detail from a specific area. With the P3 I finally could. A quick turn of the focus ring and suddenly individual hotspots became much easier to separate. Not because the sensor had magically improved, simply because I could finally focus exactly where I wanted. That tiny change ended up making a much bigger difference than I ever expected. Let's quickly see what you actually get. Inside the box, there's the camera itself, a carry case, a couple of USB adapters, paperwork, and a USB extension cable. At first, I didn't think much about that cable. Turns out, it's one of the most useful things in the box. And that's because I ran into something during testing that drove me slightly mad. The focus ring itself is brilliant. The problem is that when the camera is plugged directly into my phone, twisting the ring often caused the USB connection to break. At first, I blamed my phone case, so I took it off. Exactly the same thing happened. The good news is that any footage you've already recorded is safely saved. The bad news, you then have to reconnect the camera, sometimes even restart the app. After doing that for the 5th or 6th time, it starts getting a bit frustrating. Thankfully, the fix is incredibly simple. Use the supplied extension cable. As soon as I did that, the problem completely disappeared. The phones stay still, the camera stays still, and you're only moving the camera itself. Honestly, I would recommend using the extension cable from day one. Once I would sorted that out, I started doing what everyone does with a thermal camera. Pointed it at absolutely everything: radiators, windows, sockets, chargers, circuit boards, basically anything warm. These days, I normally pick up a thermal camera because I'm trying to answer a specific question, but somehow I still end up wandering around the house finding problems I wasn't actually looking for. That's the real appeal of the thermal imaging. The room hasn't changed. You're just seeing information your eyes were never designed to notice, and once you start looking, it's surprisingly difficult to stop. Thermal Master also makes quite a big deal about its AI-powered 3x upscaling. Honestly, that wasn't the feature that impressed me the most. Sometimes it helped, sometimes I actually prefer the original image. I also noticed the occasional artifact around sharp edges. If you took the AI away tomorrow, I would still happily use the P3. If you took away the manual focus, I would miss it immediately. At work, I regularly use dedicated FLIR thermal cameras. They are excellent, but interestingly, I often prefer working like this. Everything is already on my phone. I can upload it, share it, drop it straight into an edit, or send it to someone within seconds. No memory cards, no file transfers, no extra steps. For the way I work, that's generally useful. Before recommending something like this, I also wanted to make sure it wasn't just producing nice looking colors, so I took it into work. We have industrial equipment running at known temperatures, which made it easy to do a quick sanity check. I set one of the heaters to 130 degrees Celsius, pointed the P3 at it, and the reading came back reassuringly close. More than accurate, enough for diagnostic, fault finding, or simply working out where the heat is actually coming from. After using both cameras side by side for several weeks, I realized something. The P2 showed me heat. The P3 showed me detail. I wasn't planning to switch. I honestly expected to carry on using the P2 for most of my videos, but without really thinking about it, I just kept reaching for the P3 instead. Not because it has a dramatically different sensor, not because of the AI, because I stopped second guessing what I was looking at. That tiny focus ring gave me something I didn't realize I'd been missing. Confidence. The funny thing is that Thermal Master didn't completely reinvent thermal cameras. Most of the hardware feels familiar, most of the concept is familiar, yet somehow one tiny mechanical change completely changed the way I use it. I didn't switch because I wanted a new thermal camera, I switched because I stopped second guessing what I was looking at. So here's my question. If you were buying a thermal camera today, would you prioritize high resolution on paper or manual focus that helps you get more from the sensor you already got? Let me know in the comments.
Family